Hey y'all, it's me, Cody. Welcome to the Cody Knits podcast. This is episode 27. This is a podcast about knitting and crochet and fiber and other artsy things. My name is Cody, and I'm coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia. And welcome. Thanks for everyone who comes back and puts up with me. And if this is your first time stopping by, hi. Hope you feel welcome. Um, you can find me on YouTube as Cody Knits Podcast. You can find me on Instagram as nurse_Cody, Codi. And you can find me on Ravelry as Cody Knits. And I have a Ravelry group called the Cody Knits Podcast. Um, yeah. So Billy Bob is very talkative this morning. Well, it's afternoon now. Diamond is being fine. She's being a little needy today, and I don't know. I feel bad for her, but I just don't have time to sit around and let her sit in my lap all day. Much to her dismay. um, they are remodeling our balconies, or actually they're taking out all the rotten wood that's up under the concrete on our balconies, which is disgusting, and redoing them or something. So all of my stuff that was on my balcony is now in my living room, and it's driving me nuts. It's been over a week, and it's making me feel very cluttered and claustrophobic. But the reason I told you that, not to bore you, but is because right now they're on the balcony set right next to me, and you might hear a lot of banging and noise and whatnot, and I apologize. So, what's been going on in the knitting world? Wow, I got a little behind on some podcasts, but I did manage to watch the Grocery Girls podcast. They're hilarious. You should go check them out. They are new, and you'll know one of them as Mrs. Brown's Bags, the owner of that shop. And they're sisters, and they're hilarious. I just love it. You should really check it out. And yeah, they're so excited to be podcasting, and it's refreshing. I will talk a little bit about what's been going on here at the end of this video, if I don't forget. Um, so yeah, let's talk about some knitting. So workups. I have this week. I can start with my entrelac cowl, which I absolutely love. It's only been a week, I believe, since I last podcasted. So I don't have a whole lot to show you today, but I got a couple of rows done on that. I only have this much left of the ball. I'm hoping to get one or two more rows out of it. And then I have another skein. This is 100% cashmere. It's Pepperberry Knits Sport Weight Luxury Fiber. Oh, this is going to be amazing around your neck. I just can't wait. It's beautiful. The color weight is Storm. I'm knitting it on some Knitter's Pride or Knit Picks or one of those needles, and they are US 2.5 or 3 millimeters. They're wooden. It's working great with the cashmere. The cashmere doesn't stick to it or anything like that, and I really am enjoying it. This is the pattern. It's actually called the Entrelock Rainbow Cowl. I'm not making it rainbow. And it's by Carol Wells. This is a wonderful pattern. If you've never done Entrelock, I think this is a pretty good project to start with. Pretty easy. The only thing is that because it's a perfect square, you have these little triangular pieces that you have to put in on each side of the cowl so that it stays rectangular and doesn't go like this. So I can never memorize, for whatever reason, I just can't memorize them, the pattern for the end, so I always have to have the pattern to look it up. Once I get going, I'm picking up stitches and knitting the little rectangulars for each thing. I'm good to go. But this is in my bag from the Bakery Bears Codi Knit Up. It's Christmas bag, but I love it. So I use it. Oh, what's next? This is in a bag that Erin from Gimme on 418 or Southpaw Creations is her Etsy made me, and this is my hitchhiker. Apparently I'm in the middle of a row. Let's see, I have done a few more rows. This is where I was last time. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a little bit. So I had knit night, or I went to knit night at this yarn shop with my friend who Kirby, who taught me how to spin on a drop spindle and such. And she and I just hang out and we just talk about and sit there and knit and talk about all kinds of things, books, and it's really refreshing. I really enjoy time with her, but it's like we get there, or and then before we know it, it's like time for the store to close or whatever. It's crazy. But I was knitting this on carbons. My carbons interchangeable. Oh, the yarn is Malabrigo Sock in the Ivy colorway. Really pretty. That's pretty much true. It's got pretty. It's got some darky greens, like dark ivy colors, and it's also got like that yellow green color, which I really like. It's variegated. It's working up great. I really like the yarn and everything, but the carbons, have that kind of like grippiness, and this yarn is pretty grippy as well. So it just wasn't flying off the needles. It wasn't pleasant necessarily to knit with them. Well, my friend Kirby has a whole set of these an interchangeable set of this red lace chow goo, and she whipped them out and said, "Here, use these." And it's been zooming by. It's wonderful. I love these. I think I want my own set of these one day. They're good and pointy. Yeah, they're expensive though. They're not cheap. The join is really good. It's really smooth. So yeah, I really like it. These fly by. That's the Hitchhiker. I believe it's by Martina Martina or something. Also, I'm working up some socks. This is the Hermione Everyday Sock Pattern. These are on chow goo of my own. They're a fixed set, 32-inch circular. So I guess I could show them to you right side up. Obviously, they're not going to match, but that's okay by me. But yeah, this is the West Yorkshire Spinner yarn, and it's in the bullfinch color, and this was a gift to me, and I'm really enjoying knitting these. I can't decide yet whether or not I like two at a time, because I know if I was knitting one at a time, I would probably be pretty close to the toe, at least, on one of the socks. So I feel like it is a little bit it's slow right now, but I don't know, like, once I, like, once I finish them, I'm going to keep them, and once I finish them, I may be like, wow, I have two socks done, I don't have to do another one, and I might like that. Then again, I may be like, well, I'd rather just knit one at a time and then knit the other one or something like that. I'm using the Hermione's Everyday Sock Pattern we're all so familiar with. I really like it. It's a little hard to see in that yarn because of the nature of the yarn and the way the coloring is. It'd be easier to tell the or see that pattern with a different kind of yarn. What else? Oh, I did start another little project, which I can't finish at right now. Let me get it all. So, I'm knitting a pattern out of, this is one of a book I had, Crochet One Skein Wonders. See if I can find it. Yes. This is a crochet. It's called Sweet Kitty. Isn't that cute? It's designed by Deb Ritchie, I believe. Anyway, here's the head. I put these big old buttons on for the eyes, just using what I had, and I think he's going to be pretty cute. And this is the body, and I still have, the legs and such to knit, but I'm a little concerned because I only have this much, a little bit of fiber left, so I'm not sure if it's going to be enough, because I think that little bit won't even fill the body up. So I'll probably have to wait until I can go and get more fluffy stuff. But I can still, have everything knit up and whatnot, I suppose. But I'm knitting it. This is the yarn. It is, let's see, which one is it? Apparently I have multiple. I believe it's this one. It's Loops and Thread Impeccable. I think. And the color is, so it's 100% acrylic. The color is Tropical Storm. And yeah, it's got these, blues and blue greens, aqua, turquoisey colors, some browns, tans. Yeah. But for whatever reason, I just got in I wanted to crochet mood, and that's what I ended up doing. I still have not at all picked up that entrelac. No, not entrelac. Color work. I'm sure I looked at it and I think I can probably pick up the stitches, but I just can't. It's still on timeout because I still get disgusted when I look at it. um, let's see, admitted project. So I still have this the acrylic blanket, like the ugly crochet blanket, but I'm out of scraps, so it hasn't made any progress. So I'm not going to show you that, but I've added a few more to my sock blanket. I have to add one more today because today's the last day of February, and that was my goal. So I'm going to add one more. Today's February 29th, leap year, so I'm not crazy. If you're watching this like in the future or something, and like, there's no 29 days. It's a leap year this year, 2016. But anyway, I really let's see, I did this one. You can see it ran out, so I had to use a little bit of another one, and the same thing here. But I really enjoy doing these little squares because it's like, a quick little knit if you just, and you want to have something done. So if you have an hour to sit down, well, it takes me somewhere around an hour. Sometimes it takes me a little longer if I'm distracted by what I'm watching on the podcast or whatever. And sometimes I do them in like 40 minutes. It just depends. But yeah, I love this. It's a total of 71 squares at the moment, and it's 18 rows across. And I think I'm going to go to 25 rows across, and then I'll start going back and forth and whatnot. So that's my admitted projects. In case you're not familiar, admitted projects are, and I have these interesting names, I guess, workups, admitted projects, discharged projects, because I'm a nurse practitioner, and it kind of fits. Putting two things I love together. So, anywho, admitted projects are long-term projects. They're going to be here for a while. I'm going to be working on that blanket for a while, and that's okay. I do have a couple of discharged products. The little ruffle scarf. Let me show you. This is what the yarn looks like. It's that kind that's like almost like a net. This is really quick to crochet up, especially. However, I crocheted one up and I knit one up, and I really like the way the knit one looks better. But yeah, this one's crochet, and this is Yarn V Prisma. Look, I got it really cheap, $2.50. And they call it Mexican blue. I call it Caribbean blue because they are very similar to the scrubs I had to wear as a nurse. They're very similar to that color, and I gave these to a lot of people there for gifts. But this is the knit version. The knit version just seems fuller. I mean, they're both easy. When I knit it, I used these. It was so much fun. I don't use straight needles very often. I don't really actually have but a couple of pair US 10. But these are super easy to make. Let's see if there any difference in the length. And you just knit it or crochet it until the ball is gone. See, this is from there down is the end of the knit, and that's crochet. So it really isn't that much longer. Crocheting it really doesn't make that much longer. So I have this one too, so I'll probably knit it instead, even though it's a little bit quicker to. But I probably knit this in an hour. Really doesn't take long at all, and they're good little gifts. And then the only other thing I have discharged is this crochet hat, the charity. Ooh, look at that scene. Um, I started off doing double crochet, and then apparently I switched to half double for whatever reason. And then I added a front post back post stitch to give it that ribbed look, like a beanie hat. Fits me pretty good, actually. Anyway, yeah. So this will be a charity hat. And go to somebody. It still needs to be washed. It doesn't really smell good. That's all I have for this church project. Now, so excited. I have a stash enhancement. And I didn't buy it. Because obviously. But I went to knit night with my friend Kirby. And we went to this wonderful place called Eat, Sleep, Knit. And they are a local yarn shop. But they are very active. They do a lot of business online. And they sell everything. Their store is huge. And then they have a huge warehouse too, full of yarn. And it's just absolutely beautiful. Every time I go in there, I'm just like, wow. Well, and they're younger and they're very welcoming, and there's some older people who come to the knit night, but there's also, younger people who come too around my age, and so that's good. And I got in a little bit of an argument with my true local yarn shop called the Cast On Cottage. I was having a rough week, and I went in there and was buying yarn, and one of the ladies, well, they're really, to be honest, they are never very like welcoming or extra friendly to me when I go in there. They look at me like I have 5 heads or something, and whatever. And I don't know. But, I kept going. It's nearby. I like to support local, and I like the yarn. But I won't ever go back there. I was wearing my shawl, my Duchess of Devonshire shawl, and the lady was like, "Oh, what shawl is that?" And I told them about Kay and whatever, and she apparently had never heard of it. And then proceeded to tell me that she liked Stephen West shawls so much better, and blah 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 and whatever. And I was like, "Do you even have you ever even knit this shawl before? How do you know you like something better if you've never knit it?" And then I was like, "Well, do you know any other people who design things besides Stephen West? Like, he has cool stuff, yeah, but not everybody wants to knit Stephen West stuff. And just because it's not his or a pattern that you're familiar with doesn't mean that one's better than the other." And I was in there to make myself feel better because my uncle had just died, and, yarn therapy. And then she's insulting me and someone who I care about, Kay, and for no reason. I don't know, but I just told her that she was. I thought that that was very disrespectful and if not tactful or whatever. So anyway, I won't go back there ever again. This place, Eat Sleep Knit, it's a little bit further away from me, but it's definitely they have more yarn choices, like Madeline Tosh and such, and they're much more friendly and welcoming, and they didn't look at me like I had five heads. They looked at me like, "Oh, cool, you're a male knitter. I want to know more about you," kind of thing. Not like, "Oh my God, what is he doing in here?" We don't like them kind of people in our neck of the woods. Anyway, all that to get to, for whatever reason I went on that tangent, I had stash because my friend Kirby was needing to buy some yarn for her mother, and because her mom had sent her there with a list, and she told me she was gonna go, and I was like, well, let me come too, look around, because it's fun. And anyway, she ended up getting her mom, or we picked out a certain yarn. I'll show you in a minute. I'm super excited about it. Showed her a certain yarn, and I was like, this would be perfect because we're looking for something a little out there, something not just a plain, her normal kind of dark purples or darker colors, more something more fun and colorful, but not overly like neon or something. So we found this certain yarn, and I was like, ooh. And I said, I'll have to remember that. So that colorway, because whenever I start working, I want to get it. Well, she ended up getting it for me, which I kept telling her not to, but she did it anyway. But this is it. Ooh, look how beautiful. This is Madeline Tosh. I've never had Madeline Tosh yarn before. And it is Twist Light. Let me move this around so you can see. Madeline Tosh Twist Light. Just a soft yarn. It has 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. And the color is called Electric Rainbow. This is going to be so much fun to knit up. But I'm not going to use it yet. Because it's my first Madeline Tosh. And everyone tells me I'm going to be super addicted to it. It's not exactly cheap yarn. But, yeah. So, I love this. It's very sweet of her to give me that. That really was touching. So, anyway, life updates really quick. Oh, this is going to be a pretty short podcast, which is fine. Let's see. I still haven't heard. Let's see. I had a second interview with a hospice, home hospice and palliative care place, and I'm waiting to hear back from them. I'm still waiting to hear back from another oncology position. And then Tuesday, which is tomorrow, I have an interview with an urgent care / family practice here in the Atlanta area, and I have multiple things. And I've actually been a patient of this doctor before, which is really cool. And he's a really excellent doctor. And I had the flu like terrible, and he started my IV. He gave me fluids, and he made me feel better. He didn't wait. The nurses were busy or something, and he didn't make me sit there and wait until a nurse. He did it because I was so miserable. And um, just a really that just made me feel really good. And so my teacher sent out an email recently saying that she knows about something, and if anyone needs a job, to send her our resumes and she would forward it. So she did. I sent my resume to her. She sent our resumes to him. So there's a few of us actually from the school who are having a group interview tomorrow with him. And he's a really cool guy. I can't wait to learn more about him. But we're going to have a group interview, and he's going to show us around one of the facilities because there's a multiple little things, and they're always opening new ones. Um, and just to see, let us have an idea of how it is, and talk about how, compensation and stuff like that, what he has to offer. And then he's going to take us to lunch, which is amazing. No one's ever done that before. I've never heard of that, which is really cool. Hopefully he's gonna pay. um, so I'm gonna do that Tuesday, and then he said afterwards we'll have we'll set up an interview for individual interviews to talk about if we're a right fit. Then on Wednesday I have an interview with Emory University Hospital, which is where I used to work, and in the oncology department there. Um, which I'm pretty excited about. I'm hoping that they have a good fit for me. I know they have a few positions available at the moment, but the lady said they actually are going to have a lot more open up soon due to growth. And I kind of already have a leg up there because I work there as a nurse already. So yeah, um, so that's good. I have that on Wednesday, and then at the end of the week, my mentor slash school teacher, professor slash friend, um, who's amazing. She teaches. Now she teaches at another college. I can't remember the name of it. But she teaches a research class, and anyway, she needs she's going to pay me a little bit to come down and input all the research data into a computer database thing to help with the statistical analysis stuff. So when you put it in there, like if you do a survey and it's like asking for, when you fill out a survey and it asks, are you a male or female, or whatnot, you can't, when you're putting that data into a computer, you don't put, it doesn't recognize, it's numbers, so you can't say M or F and then it calculates that. So you got to assign the male a number 1 and the female a number 2 and put that data into the computer like that. Plus, you go through and every question you go through and have to put for everyone who fills it out. So question 1, in this person's survey, they put A, and this person put B, and this person put C. So you have to go through all 100 and ever how many surveys and for question 1 because you want the data for each, not only the whole set, but for each individual question in case there's, that way you can say, this question had crazy, like it was all over the place, and that lets you kind of think, or leads you to kind of think that the question was worded poorly, perhaps, or something like that. Anyway, that's a whole lot of statistics and research stuff, and boring for most people. So I won't go into that, but yeah, I'm gonna go do that. And they live in a place called Pine Mountain, Georgia, and it's near Callaway Gardens. And one of those I'm gonna go down there and stay the night, and we're gonna go hiking. Her husband Mike and I will go hiking one morning, and down there it'll be beautiful, and I'm super excited about that. So anyway, hopefully I will hear back from some people about a job very soon because I'm running out of time again, and I'm trying not to get stressed out about it or whatnot. But there's one more thing I want to talk to you about. Hopefully it won't take too long, but it's something else I've been doing here lately. My friend Kirby is a architect, and so she's the one who designed my new logos and whatnot. And if you saw, I did this attempt at a drawing of my bakery bear. I posted it on Instagram. Yeah, terrible. But that's okay. She was sweet, and she said, "Well, you know what? It's not really that terrible. I can look at it and tell that it's a bear." So okay, whatever. So also, like, I've been wanting to kind of learn how to draw or sketch and things like that for a while. Just because I'm not, I've never been taught it. So I have a sketchbook and some awesome pencils, and I just wanted to show you. Um, been doing some shading or trying, and this is my first sphere. Not perfect, not exactly what I was envisioning, but you know what? It shows the different shading and the different color gradients. Well, on a grayscale, I guess you could call it. And yeah, not bad for my first one ever. And she was telling me that they're really hard, and I believe her. And then after that, she wanted me to do like a basket weave pattern, and she was teaching me how shading. She taught me a lot about shading, about perspective. She taught me a whole lot in one little sitting, and yeah. So she drew out this little basket weave kind of pattern, and she was telling me how you can make it look like it's actually going over, under using shading techniques that we had been practicing before. And I wanted to show you what it looked like. Not too shabby. I spent a couple hours on the little sphere, but I only spent maybe 20 minutes or 30 minutes doing it. So I could definitely go back and, you know, could have kept working on it and getting more of that, darker to lighter kind of effect. But I'm really proud. It really does look like it goes over, under. To me, what do y'all think? So this was an example that she showed me that she did, just to kind of show me what she's talking about. She's definitely, obviously, much better at it than I am. But yeah, I'm hoping I'll get to spend a little more time and practice that and whatnot, because I really have enjoyed it and all of that. So get granite all over you, which is fun. But anyway, just wanted to show you guys that, and that way I can it's more kind of for me to kind of keep progress on a video blog and my thoughts about it, because on here I don't necessarily write in it. I just do it. And but yeah, I'm gonna attempt to do some sketching and things like that. And now that I know a little bit more about shading and how you can give things depth, I guess, and make things, because we see things in 3D, like three-dimensional, and how you can draw that, um, how drawing that can, and, and using shading techniques and stuff can give you that effect. Anyway, really cool. I can't wait to learn a lot more. She's so really good at teaching, very patient. 'Cause, whew, anywho, I hope you all having a wonderful week. I hope you are getting lots of knitting done. I hope you have been having as beautiful of weather as I have here in Atlanta. I mean, past couple week or two. I mean, I've been hiking a lot and going outside. The weather's been warm. Feels kind of springy out. A little cool in the evenings, but it gets into the upper, mid 50s or so, and it's wonderful. Yesterday I spent the day at a park just reading. Oh, I know I was supposed to shut up a minute ago, but I finished reading the Divergent series last night, Allegiant. I'm not gonna say, in case someone out there hasn't read the book, but it definitely has a surprise in it that I wasn't expecting at all, and I got emotional about it. So that's just me. But anyway, I would recommend reading the books if you haven't. They're really good, and they're pretty quick read. Anywho, I really am gonna go now. I've got to go get some food, like milk and such, and I have a lot of laundry to do now that I can't use the dry cleaner. I'm having to iron all my own clothes, which sucks. I hate ironing. But yeah, gotta have them ready for interviews because if you look like poo, they will not want you. So I'm gonna go. Hope you're all having a wonderful day, knitting a lot, um, spending time with your loved ones, doing things that are fun that you enjoy, and yeah. Until next time, I don't know if it'll be a week or 2 weeks. It depends on what's going on, but at least in 2 weeks. And I'll see you then. And remember, one stitch at a time. Bye, y'all.